and while we stretch, we're going to do some slow repetitions and pairs or triples today, but we're going to be starting on in tabletop, and we're going to go from tabletop to other knee located stretches, and then we'll move off of those. But so I just wanted to explain that I have this little rug here because my knee is a little bit sensitive today, so I wanted to give it a little bit of padding, and I picked this rug because it has kind of a sticky bottom and this isn't going to slip. And you can put a towel down if you have similar knee issues. I had my coffee this morning. But let's start here and get into your sit bone situation. Get your head over your tailbone. You can have your legs any way you want. You can also be sitting on your legs in this position. And you want to have your ear, shoulder, hip in alignment. And I just want to do a couple of breathing things right here, and then we're going to go right to that tabletop. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make it nice and big. We're doing 5. 2 more. Last one. Really make them big. Push your arms out to airplane. Go to a side turn first, head and upper body. You want to feel it rotating at your waist. Good. Make sure you lift out of it. So we have a tendency to kind of drop that shoulder. Try to roll that shoulder back so it's parallel to the front shoulder. Then come back to neutral. Then inhale and exhale over to the other side. Same thing. You want to get those shoulders as parallel to each other as possible. Good. Inhale and exhale back to neutral. Then we're going to take it into a spinal twist. If that doesn't work for you, go back to that side rotation. So inhale across, hand on the thigh, hand behind you. Begin, inhale and exhale, rotate. Just trying to get that spine into action. Inhale and exhale, rotate. Inhale and exhale, rotate. Now 5 breaths back here. Keep your head over your tailbone. Keep your shoulder blades down. Keep your head and shoulders tracking. You're lifting up. You're still on your sit bones. Let's do 3 more breaths. Inhale to prepare, exhale, bring it back to center, and then over to the other side. You take it out first, hand on the thigh, hand behind the glute. Inhale and exhale, lift up, inhale and exhale, lift up, inhale and exhale. Two more. Lift up. Inhale to prepare, exhale, bring it back to center, and then let's just take it to our tabletop. I'm going to give a little bit of diagonal here so you can see everything that's going on in all directions. So we want to make sure our hands are under our shoulders. At this point, I would like your legs sit bone width apart. Have your belly up under and supporting your back. Your eyes are looking straight down. And you're going to take a big inhale. Exhale back into your sit child pose. I just want the elbows to come down. Don't reach the arms out yet. I just want to open the hips first. Nice. And breathe into it. And then inhale and exhale, bring it back up. Take one arm really long and then come back again. You feel a different kind of activation here. So we're getting this part all warmed up. We were sitting on it before, right? Slide that arm back in and bring yourself back up. Reach the other arm out. Don't change the head direction. It all goes down. Head is down but not under, so you're taking it back. Getting all this warmed up to go. And then bring it back in and bring yourself back up. And you know what's next. Both arms go out. You bring yourself down. You're reaching. Nice. Keep those feet in sit bone width apart. We're not changing that for now. We'll change it later. Keep breathing. Don't collapse the arms. I'd like them lifted through the armpit. Come on back up. Now take both arms to the right corner of your mat. Sit back centered. Really push over into that left hip. Good. Lower the elbows, bring it back up, bring it back to neutral. And then over to the left corner of your mat. Push into those right hips as you come back. Good. And then inhale and exhale back to neutral, and we're ready to go. Nice job. It's always good to feel your body warm up. So what I'd like you to do is push one leg back and push into that heel. So you got a flex foot, your toe is into the mat, and your hands are still under your shoulders and your eyes are still down. So you have one knee on the ground, foot is flat on that knee, and then one knee pushing back into a flex. Nice, and just hold it right there. Now from here, I'd like you to rotate toward the bent knee and lift your arm up and look toward that arm. Try to keep that foot in its flexed position. Don't let it drop over to the side. We're going to actually get to that later. Good. And then bring it down. And then we're going to open to the back side. Ooh. Nice. Open it up. Keep that leg in that position. Good. And then bring it down. Good job. And then bring that leg in. We're going to do that to the other side. Push it out into flex. Good. Make sure you have that other knee lifted. You're not dropping your glutes back. It's still tabletop. And then reach open toward the bent knee, looking up to that hand. You'll feel the stretch on the front of the extended hip. Inhale and exhale that down, and then over to the other side. Open up. That leg rotated toward the ceiling. You might keep wanting to come back. Good. And inhale and exhale that. Great job. Okay, so now we're going to step that leg, one of your legs, through to the front. It doesn't matter which one. And we're going to lift into this low lunge. So we're going to do a couple of pairings here. I would like you to have your shoulder blades down. And you have to decide how much. You don't want to push into your knee. That's not the point. The point is to stretch this hip in the back. But you have to decide what works for you. Because it also loads the knee a little bit. But the more you come forward, the less you should feel it in your knee. Also, a way you can take the load off your knee is by flexing the foot. That lifts up a little bit for some people. For other people, it pushes it down. For me, I need to have the foot flat. So here we are, lifted here. And I want you to breathe into it. Just really feel it. And then we're going to come back to our split. So the split is the flexed foot in front, right here. We start with our self elevated, and then I'd like you to bring your hands down, framing the leg, not inside the leg. Good. And really leaving the hip in a lifted position, really lower the chest first. And inhale and exhale yourself back up, keeping yourself in that flexed position, and then sit back with the glutes. You feel like this is a different activation. Again, you've got to adjust for any of the things that are happening in your body. If it's happening, if you're feeling any pain in your knee, stay in the first position or adjust. All right, and then bring yourself up. So let's do that triple together first. Again, we're going to do it 3 times. So forward, not pushing into the knee, but releasing back into that hip. Good, breathing into it, really feeling it. Really feels amazing because the second one for me is going deeper. And so I'm getting more therapeutic value for that hip. This is my wonky hip, for that wonky hip than I did in the first one. I can feel it. So repeating some of these flows is really useful. So coming back into the split, we stay lifted. Take it down, hands to the floor, chest beside the leg. Keep that flex nice and strong. Don't drop the glutes yet. Then inhale yourself back up. You stay in this position. And then if you can, lower back with those glutes. All right, that does stretch the knee a lot. So it could be good depending on what your knee issue is. It could be difficult depending on what your knee issue is. All right, one last time for this. Come up into that low lunge stretch. Good. Aren't you glad you put something under your knee? I am. Now this is really going more deeply. I can feel the release. I'm so glad because my legs have been very tired, and they haven't been tired from moving. They've been tired because I'm driving more and I'm in this seated position more. and it's not fun. And then into that split. Split is one of our favorites. Come on down with the hands, framing the leg, not inside. Can we get a little bit lower on this? It's our last one on this side, right? Then bring yourself up and sit down into it. So sit back. Beautiful. And bring yourself up, and we're going to go right back to tabletop. Get into our neutral position, realign, and then sit back into child pose. Again, we want legs straight in, sit bone width apart, reaching those arms forward. Beautiful. Good. Bring yourself back up, and let's put that other leg through on the other side. So as you can tell, your first one is not as deep as the last one on the other side. So we have that nice lift. We have our hands on our thighs to begin, right? So one of the things I was thinking of yesterday and today when I was putting this together is what works for my sciatica? What works for my wonky hip? What works for my funny knee? And that's kind of how I put this all together, because I wanted to go to the points where a lot of us are feeling injury or weakness. All right, come back. The first position is bringing those hands and framing them. Ooh, this one's tight compared to the last one. Don't let the glute drop. You're still in lifted glute position. Nice. Then inhale and exhale yourself back up. Take your head over the tailbone and then try to sit back. It's hard, right? Trying to sit back is hard. Except put a little bit more, dig into that mat, and then bring yourself up 2 more times into that top lunge. Already I'm feeling a release. Already I'm feeling an opening. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful for stretching right now. I've increased my yoga consumption quite a bit since I've started driving back to my job. All right, come into that split. The first position is to lower down. Yes, release, release, release. Goodness gracious. Inhale and exhale yourself back up. The last position is to sit back. Woo. Lowering the glute as far as you can. It's okay. Don't hinge so you're not dropping forward. I want you to focus on lowering that glute. All right, back to the lunge. This is our last time on this side, last time period. Reaching forward, hands on the thigh. This feels so good. Come back into the split, lifted, and then lower down, hands framing the leg. Chest comes down the middle. There's no problem with closing your eyes while you're breathing into the muscle. That kind of focuses you more. Curl your body up. So if you feel intuitively like you want to close your eyes, that makes total sense because it's a focus moment. And then sit back. Nice. Bring yourself back up to position and back to tabletop. All right, we're going to do cat-cow right now, just to give us some counter stretches. Inhale, bottom and chin up. Exhale, curl up like a cat. Bottom and chin up. Curl up like a cat. Bottom and chin up. Curl up like a cat. Hold that curl. Hold that curl. Wag your tail. Good. Then flatten your head out and your chest out and get your arms under your shoulders. Make sure you're in position because you've got a leg going forward again. So your leg is going forward, your hands stay inside. The other leg is going all the way back onto the flex. Oops, my leg's too far. Make sure your foot is under your knee. Don't let it get away from your knee. Lift that back leg. Now you have the support of your hands. So it shouldn't feel like you're not going to be able to do this. But if it's a problem, just put your knee down. Okay? So I'd like you to rest on the outside arm and open toward the knee. So you're opening that upper body rotation. Beautiful. And then you're bringing it back down. Nice. And then let's go to the other side. Open, it's not going to open as much because you're limited by that back leg. And then bring it back down. Good job. All right, from here, we're going to come to the front, walk to the front, and take this lizard or this dancer stretch. So your leg is lifted. You do not have to bring your chest up. If you can bring your chest up, that's cool. If you can't do this at all, bring the leg in and just flex over to one side. There you go. So you have all those options right there. So let's go back. Rotation. We're pushing back through that low lunge. This is a little bit harder. Then go forward, low lunge. Now I'm not going to be able to do this as well on the other side because the knee's not going to take the load. Try to get your head over your tailbone. One more time, down to that low lunge. And then over to that lift lunge. Woo! All right, you're good. Go back to position, put that knee down, back to tabletop. Rotate your glutes in one direction 4 times. I'm going to turn the other way. And then the other direction 4 times. Now back. And let's go with the other leg. Hand inside, remember, hand inside. Take the other leg back to low lunge. Nice, hold it right there. Rotate to the front. Oh, I'm doing all right. Good. Bring it back to center. Back to do the lips. Lift toward the knee. Bring it down. Lift toward the outside. Bring it down. We have 2 more. Oops. Lost my position. Stay in your low lunge if you can. Again, your knee can be down. You can be a lot higher. You've got to articulate for yourself. Out into dancer lunge. Right here. Bring it back down. And one more time. Just hold this right here. Really get the full benefit of it. And then come on over. Hold it there. Now I want you to put both hands to the center and bring yourself up into this wide leg tabletop. I'm going to move my knee mat out of the way. Wide leg tabletop right here. Drop your head down so the crown of your head is toward your mat. Not under, just straight down like it's going to land between your fingers. Lift up through your legs. Feel the extension through those legs. Good. Now walk over to one side. I want you to feel the upper body stretch. So reach the opposite arm all the way across the toes. You want to get that upper body stretch. Now take it down, the chest down to the thigh. Walk it back to center and walk it over to the other side. Same thing. Get that chest down to the thigh. Walk across those toes. Nice. And bring it back to center. I'd like you to heel toe in. I'm going to rotate again to downward facing dog right here. Nice. Push through your hands. You're framing your head with your hands. You're on your toes trying to put your feet. And we're going to move forward. Now I want you to move forward. Lift the leg up. Bend it to the glute. Extend it. Lower it down and back into downward facing dog. Forward. Lift. Bend. Extend. Same leg. Down into downward facing dog. Forward. Bend. Extend. Down and back into downward facing dog. Now we're going to do the other side. Then we're going to do a variation. Take it forward to your plank. Lift your leg up. Bend, extend, down, and then back into downward facing dog. Complete the action before you go back. Forward, lift up, bend, extend, lower, back into downward facing dog. Nice. One more time. Good. Lift, bend, extend, lower, back into downward facing dog. So now we're going to take it into lifted dog, one-legged dog, right here, three-legged dog. Reach up, reach back with your heel, reach back up and down. Two more. Reach up, back with your heel, bend that knee, reach up and down. Last time. Reach up, back with that heel. Good. And then let it down. Okay. I'm losing my shirt here. Let's go to the other side. Single dog. Take it back. Reach it back with your heel. Bend that knee. Reach up and down. Again. Take it up. Bend. Take it back. Reach up and down. Last time. Take it up. Good. Bend. Back and down. Come down to your knees. Now put the toes together and your knees apart and get a big, generous child pose. Breathe into it. Nice job. Let those shoulders melt down your back, right? Keep your head over your spine, but let a little bit of gravity get into the motion. All right, we're going to sit. Hooray. Let's sit. I think those were the hardest things that we're going to do today. So let's sit into seated butterfly to begin. Pull ourselves out of our curls that we did, and just take the ear to one side. Just let those shoulders be pulled down by your grip on the shin, the ankle, and then center and down on the other side and center. Beautiful. We're going into our seated sit bone position strap. Now, you can have your knees bent. So we're working all over the body today in this position. Again, we're going to repeat some things so to get the deeper motion. So get your head over your tailbone, get your shoulder blades down. I'd like you to take your arms out and go side to side. Just top over bottom. Now, one of the things that happens with this, we drift forward a little bit or we drift back a little bit. So you have to think that you have that nice long cord coming up through your body and it's holding you to the ceiling like a marionette or a carousel horse, and you can't get off that line. Good. 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Now we reach all the way over, take the arm over our ear, come down and reach to the corner of the room. I want you to stay in that line, roll that shoulder back, but don't let the body drop back. The arm stays long. Nice. I'm giving you a really long moment here so you can breathe into it and really lift out of that hip. Now inhale back to that center. Take it over one more time, 2 more times actually, and reach. I'm going to get that full body stretch right to the corner of that room. Good. You do have corners in your room, and bring it up and then push over again and reach. Make sure that arm's over the ear. The bottom arm is soft. You're not falling back. And then back to that shoulder's nice and long now. Back and forth for 4, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go. Take it over and take it to the corner of that room. Soften that lower arm. Reach out to the corner of that room. Nice. And then bring it back up, and we're going to take it over again. Reach over, lower the arm, soften that elbow, take it over to the corner of the room. Really reach out. Nice. Lower it down, push over. Somebody's grabbing your arm, right? And take it across. Don't fall back. Come back to center. Those arms come down through the middle. Roll your shoulders back 4 times. We always have to address what we used. Try to anyway. And then arms come out to the legs. You're mimicking the leg position. Try to keep yourself lifted. So don't fall toward the legs. I want you to take it lifted, right over the legs, and then a side turn, and then a lift. So you're putting one hand down, the other hand comes up, bring it down and over. Let's do that again. Side, lift up, down and over. Good. Now, if this is a hard lift up for you, put this foot down. So when you go side, lift up, you have a little bit more support, and down. And let's go to the other side. All right, take it over. Side, drop that arm, lift up and down and back to center. Side, lift up, back and center. Last time, side, lift up, trying to get through that whole body, back and center. Okay, we have done lots of upper back, and we're now going to go back to lower back. So I want you to turn toward your thigh. Either one doesn't. Put your hand at the top of the thigh. This is going to be a curl down. So you're going to soften the rib cage to glute or to hip as you curl down and slide those arms as far as you can get them. And let's bring ourselves down now. The anchor is your other glute. So if you're lifting that off, let's try to push it down. You can push it down two ways. You can come up on your stretch, or you can bend that leg a little bit. So you've got the anchor there. So that's up to you, whichever way you want to do it, if you have to do it. All right, keep your head on your spine, but let gravity take over the stretch. Nice. Breathe into it. Slide up to the center and turn to the other side. Bring it back to center, curl it down, and take it across. Slide up, arms are at the top, rotate, bring it back to the center, and curl it back down and take it across. Last one, you're here, you're going up, you rotate, feel that, we're gonna hold that for 3 breaths. Lift up, and then back to the center, then curl it back down and walk it across to stretch that back out evenly. Drop your shoulder blades, please. Strong arms, flat or extended strong arms. Look down between your index fingers, walk it in. All right, let's do this to the other side. Remember, we're curling down to that thigh. So curling down and sliding out. We're going to hold this for 3 breaths. And we bring it up, the arms go up and rotate to the other side. Now these rotations don't get a lot of turn because we have our hips in a non-flexible position right now. So we're not getting that action in here. So curl it down and take it out. And then curl it up to the top and rotate. Oh my goodness, this one's much harder than the other side. And the other side wasn't so great. And then curl it down. So I'll be happy for the hold when it comes to the end. And last time, we're going to take it over here and breathe 3 times. Bring it back to center and lower those arms to cactus. Bring the elbows down to the waist. Put it back to cactus. Take the elbows down to the waist. Keep your sit bones as your major anchor. Down to the waist. We're doing 5 of these, so there are 2 more. Up and down to the waist. And last one, up and down to the waist. Bring those legs to the center. Reach the arms out in front of those legs and reach across the top of those legs. Drop your shoulder blades, eyes are down to the toes. And lower the chest to the thighs. Slide it up From here, we're going down to the mat. Like I said, we're focusing on all those lower body issues that we have, the hip problems, the sciatic problems, the uh, uh, SI joint issues. We're just trying to get those. Some of these exercises will be directly relieving. Some of them might aggravate it a little bit. You have to know which works for your body. First, I'd like you to put the knees together and the feet apart, just to get those hips stretched into action and in another direction, because we have them out the other way. Nice. All right, I love the crossover, crossing the leg all the way over. When you're sitting, this is called the shoelace. When you're lying down, I just call it cocktail party position. Now, when you're in this position, I'd like you to go toward the bottom leg first. So take it over and you feel the leg creating the stretch on the bottom leg. And your upper body is nice and long. You're on the back of your head. Make sure you nod your chin down. And then take it to the other side. And then we're going to do a second version of this in a second. Side really, really gets that long connection, right? You can feel it all the way from the hip to the knee. Now, as you know, adjusting just a little bit makes a difference. And now we're going to put the heel on top of the knee and repeat that stretch. And you'll feel the different activation. So it's coming, feel that coming all the way down. If it hurts your knee, just put it on the side of your leg. But we want the parallel. We want this stretched over to match that. So come on down. And then bring it up and then over to the other side. As you can tell, it's moved up the body a little bit. So we can feel it all the way up in the deltoids. And then finally, the pigeon, so we're crossing it over. I want you to lift it off and then bring it down to the first side. And bring it up and take it down to the second side. Now we're going to do that whole routine again on this side, and we'll do it twice on the other side. So first, cross the leg all the way over. 3 deliberate breaths in here. Take it to the back, 3 there. You can push down with your hand if you want to get a little bit more distance. That feels really good to me to try to do that. The other thing that you might do is scoot your knee up a little bit to get more of the back. You have to determine what you need. I didn't recommend that for our stretch because it goes deeper into your knee. So I want to make sure you're okay with that, right? And then bring it up, stack, take it over. And you can bring it up if you want to. Do the other side. Back to center, pigeon, off the floor, take it over. Back to neutral, and then over to the other side. Ooh, I really need that. I'm going to scoot that up a little bit. And then back to center. Let's do all of that on the other side. Cross it over. We go to the bottom leg side first. And then bring it up and over to the top side. Nice. Then back to center, stack. Take it over to the first side, the bottom leg side. I love that stretch right here in the hip, right? And then over to the top leg side. Bring it back to center pigeon, lift it off the floor, take it over to the first side, feel it all the way up the body, and then bring it up and over to the second side, into it. Don't lose the position. The knee wants to drop down on the floor, but you got to keep on that pigeon position. And then bring it up. We're going to take this all over again, last time. All right, first side, that goes to the bottom leg side. Really breathe into it, really push down. This is your last one here, so you've got to really give it some love. The other side. Keep those shoulder blades down. That's your other anchor, right? Bring it back to center, stack it. First side. This one is my favorite because it gets so far up into the body. And then to the other side. Make sure you're doing your 3 breaths. That will make that what the muscles open. Back to center, stack the pigeon, and then first side. Nice deep breathing. Ooh, my hips are saying thank you. We're going to do some counter stretches for the hips in just a second. Bring it back to center. Separate those legs. Take yourself up into a high bridge. Put your hands in a grip underneath. And then push your palms down toward your feet. So you have your hands interwoven and your palms push you down toward your feet. And push up into that. Release the hands. Keep those hips up there. Lower them down vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll to one side. Take yourself into a quad stretch. Releasing in the opposite direction. Come back to neutral, lying down, then to the other side. Quad stretch. Gripping that elbow or gripping that ankle in your hand. Bringing it as close to your glute as you can, keeping those knees side by side. Nice, stacking those legs together and scooting them up. So scoot them up so you have a lap. Push into the floor. Bring yourself to seated, your comfortable position for seated. Get your head over your tailbone. Whatever that comfortable position is, you need to be on your sit bones, right? So we're going to swing the arms across, switching positions, getting our body into awake and alive and refreshed. Now that we've taken care of all of our lower body issues, they're all gone. I just want you to know they're all gone. All right, we're going to bring ourselves up. All right, I'd like you to kick out a little bit. I'd like to get you going at the top of the day. If you're doing this at the top of the day, if not, just be seated. Let's just kick out a little bit. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 1. Let's do a wide, strong final breath. Okay, breathe it up and down. 2 more up and down. Last time up and down. Thank you for everybody for coming to this stretch. It's all addressing the lower body issues. Next time we'll work on the upper body issues, and I hope you enjoy.